Hello dear students, in this session let us start with the new topic, that is second order partial differential equation. Till previous session we were discussing the first order partial differential equation and we have solved many types of problem under first order partial differential equation. The equation consists of a quasi-linear, semi-linear, non-linear. We have solved all types of partial differential equation which was first order, right? So now we will move to second order partial differential equation. As name suggests, the partial differential equation having the order 2, nothing but second order, right? So before moving to the actual topic of second order partial differential equation, first let us see how the origin of second order partial differential equation took place. Okay, so let's discuss the origin of second order PDE, that is nothing but partial differential equation. Okay, so in order to understand the origin of a partial differential equation, first I will consider one general function, or you can call it as an equation. So that is nothing but z is equal to f of u plus g of v plus w. I will call this as equation number 1. Okay, so here as you can see clearly, your f and g are functions of u and function of v respectively. You must use the word respectively because f is a function of u alone and g is a function of v alone, right? But what about u and v? u and v are u and v, and I should consider w also, right? I have w also. This is not a constant. This is also a function of x and y. If I just consider f of u and g of v, this is nothing but your ordinary differential equation. I have only one variable, right? So my f is a function of u and u is a function of x and y. Similarly, g is a function of v and this v is a function of x and y. Also we have w, which is a function of x and y. So your z is nothing but function of u, v, x, y all. It contains all, right? So I will call this as my equation number 1. Now differentiate your equation 1 with respect to x and with respect to y separately. So you will get dou z by dou x if you differentiate with respect to x, and this f of u becomes fu into ux, right? Because we will differentiate f with respect to u, and since u is a function of x and y, I have to differentiate u with respect to x also. So we will get fu dot ux. This is nothing but partial differentiation of f with respect to u into partial differentiation of u with respect to x, right? Plus again I should differentiate g of v. So here I will differentiate g with respect to v first, then since v is a function of x and y, I will differentiate v with respect to x partially, and w is function of x and y. So if I differentiate w with respect to x, I will get wx, right? This dou z by dou x is nothing but p. Similarly, if I differentiate with respect to y, that is dou z by dou y, we will get fu u with respect to y plus gv and v with respect to y and w with respect to y. So this dou z by dou y is nothing but q, alright? So now I will call this set of equation as equation number 2. Now again differentiate equation 2 with respect to x. Okay, we are differentiating both the equations with respect to x and with respect to y, right? So you will get dou square z by dou x square, which is nothing but your r. This will be equal to, you should use product rule of differentiation here. So you will get f u into ux. Again you will differentiate this u with respect to x, right? So f u with respect to you will, product rule means first you will retain one as it is and you will differentiate the other, right? So consider I am retaining ux as it is, and if you differentiate fu with respect to x, you will get fuu into ux, right? Plus retain fu as it is and differentiate ux with respect to x, you will get uxx. So similarly here you will get gvv into vx square. Similarly you can write this as ux square as I have written here, okay, plus vxx into gv plus wxx, right? So similarly if I differentiate my dou z by dou x with respect to y, that is dou square z by dou x dou y, which is nothing but your s, you will get fu. I'm retaining fu as it is. If you differentiate ux with respect to y, you will get uxy plus retain ux as it is. Now differentiate fu with respect to y, you will get f u fuu u with respect to y. So similarly I will write the remaining things. So this is what you will get if you differentiate your p with respect to y. So again differentiate q with respect to y now. So you will get dou square z by dou y square, which is nothing but t. So this will be equal to fuu uy square plus fu uyy plus gvv vy square plus gv vyy plus wyy, right? So now here p is nothing but dou z by dou x, q is nothing but your dou z by dou y, r is nothing but dou square z by dou x square, s is dou square z by dou x dou y, and t is dou square z by dou y square. So you can observe here I have 5 set of equation. System of 5 equations we are having, right? System of 5 equations with 4 unknowns. You can observe here I have 4 unknowns, that is fu, fuu, gv and gvv. These 4 are unknowns here, right? So now we have to find these unknowns, right? That means we have to eliminate these unknowns in these 5 equations. So in order to eliminate the unknowns in this 5 equation, we will consider a relation that is nothing but, so you can observe here I can rewrite this equation as p minus wx is equal to fuu plus gvvx, right? So in determinant what I will do is all my LHS part I will write it as one column, and the coefficients of fu, GV, FUU, GVV in the remaining columns. Okay, so first from equation 1, sorry, from the set of these two equations, I can write P minus WX, UX, Vx, coefficient of FUU is 0 and GVV is 0. Right? So similarly, you can consider the equation Q. So this will become Q minus WY. So you can write Q minus WY, UY, Vy 0, 0. Right? So the next one is R minus WXX. Here you will get coefficients. For FU it is UXX, for GV it is VXX, and for FUU you will get UX square, and for GVV you will get VX square. So similarly, S minus WXY, UXY, VXY, UXVY and VXVY. Right? Similarly, T minus WYY. So here you will get UYY. Right? So next VYY. The next one is UY square and Vy square. This is equal to 0. So we will use this relation in order to eliminate the unknowns from these 5 equations. Okay. You can observe here this relation involves only the derivatives P, Q, R, S and T, and also known functions of x and y. That means U, V, W. These 3 are known functions of x and y. Okay. So this is nothing but your partial differential equation of second order. This is how the origin of second order partial differential equation took place. Now if you expand this column wise, this whole determinant in a column wise, you will get a relation as RR plus SS plus TT plus PP plus QQ is equal to W. Here you will have values for S, R, T, P, Q and W. Okay, but all these are functions of x and y itself. So this is nothing but the origin of your partial differential equation. Now let's move to next topic. That is nothing but principle of superposition or linear superposition principle. Okay, so as name suggests, in order to explain the superposition principle, I have to consider a linear differential equation. Okay, first I will consider second order linear equation. That is nothing but a general equation y double dash plus p of x y dash plus q of x y is equal to f of x. So we have seen in ordinary differential equation, if f of x is equal to 0, then this leads to homogeneous linear differential equation. If f of x is not equal to 0, then this leads to non-homogeneous linear differential equation. Right? So now call this as your equation number 1. I will rewrite it here. Call this as your equation number 1. Okay. So if y1 and y2 are the solution of this equation, okay, let's consider homogeneous itself so that the things will be simpler to understand. Okay, so if this is my differential equation, and if I say y1 and y2 are the solution of this equation, then we can write this as y1 double dash plus p of x y1 dash plus q of x y1 is equal to 0, and y2 double dash plus p of x y2 dash plus q of x y2 is equal to 0. We have seen all these things in our ODE classes itself, right? If y1 and y2 are the solutions of this equation, then we can write this equation in this form, right? So since this is a linear homogeneous differential equation, if you solve this equation using an auxiliary equation procedure, obviously you will get two solutions. So it will be depending on the roots, right? So I can write that solution in a general form as y is equal to c1 y1 plus c2 y2, right? So if the roots are real and distinct, you will get c1 e power x e power m1x plus c2 e power minus m2x, right? If the roots are real and repeated, you will get c1 plus c2x into e power mx. So similarly, if the roots are real and imaginary, you will get e power I alpha x into c1 cos beta x plus c2 sin beta x, isn't it? So we have three types of solution. Let us consider we are getting some general roots. For that, the solution will be in this form. Okay. So now here as usual c1 and c2 are constants. Since y1 and y2 are the solutions of this equation, I can write this equation as this is the given equation, right? So here just understand carefully, y1 and y2 are the solution, these two are the solutions, right? And we have considered that this is also a general solution. So what I will do now is, if I consider this as my solution, we can write y double dash as c1 y1 double dash plus c2 y2 double dash, right? Y is c1 y1 plus c2 y2. So if I differentiate this twice, I will get c1, since it is a constant, y1 double dash plus c2 written as it is y2 double dash. Similarly, p of x into c1 y1 dash plus c2 y2 dash plus q of x into c1 y1 plus c2 y2, right? So simplify this, we can write this as c1 y1 double dash plus c1 p of x into y1 dash plus c1 q of x into y1 as one term plus c2 y2 double dash plus c2 p of x y2 dash plus c2 q of x into y2. So in these term I can take c1 as common, y1 dash plus p of x y1 dash plus q of x y1. In this term I can take c2 as common, y2 double dash plus p of x y2 dash plus q of x y2, right? So since y1 and y2 are the solutions, this is equal to 0 and this is equal to 0. If you substitute here, this whole term will be 0 and this whole term will be 0. So I can write y1 double dash plus p of x into y dash plus q of x into y is equal to c1 of 0 plus c2 of 0, that is nothing but 0. So this particular form tells you that y is a solution of your equation 1. Okay, so I will consider one example so that you can understand even more better. Okay, so let us consider one linear homogeneous differential equation, y double dash plus y is equal to 0. So I will consider this as my equation number 1. If this solution is having two solutions, if this equation is having two solutions means I will solve this equation. So the auxiliary equation for this equation will be m square plus 1 is equal to 0. This is nothing but m is equal to plus or minus I, right? So now y is equal to c1 cos x plus c2 sin x. So we have to prove that this y is a solution of this equation, so that I can say that this given equation is satisfying our principle of superposition. Okay, so if you observe this, here y1 is cos x and y2 is sin x, right? So the equation is y double dash plus y. From this, what is y double dash? So this implies y dash is nothing but minus c1 sin x plus c2 cos x, right? So you will get y double dash as minus c1 cos x minus c2 sin x. So substitute this value here, you will get minus c1 cos x minus c2 sin x plus what is y? Y is c1 cos x plus c2 sin x, right? So c1 cos x minus c1 cos x gets cancelled, c2 cos x minus c2 cos x gets cancelled. You will get y double dash plus y is equal to 0, right? From this I can say that this is my solution, but I have to verify that these two solutions also satisfy this condition in order to say that this is a linear superposition principle. Okay, so that means I have to find out y dash is minus sin x and y1 double dash is minus cos x, right? So similarly y2 dash is cos x and y2 double dash is minus sin x. So I can write this y double dash plus y as y1 double dash plus y2 double dash plus y1 plus y2, right? So this is nothing but writing that y1 double dash plus y1 and y2 double dash plus y2, right? I'm just writing second order derivative as one term and the zeroth derivative as the another term. That's it. Okay, so substitute all the values. What is your y1 double dash? It is minus cos x, and y2 double dash it is minus sin x. y1 is plus cos x and y2 is plus sin x. So all these terms gets cancelled. You will get y double dash plus y as 0. So from this you can say that y is equal to c1 cos x plus c2 sin x is also a solution of equation 1. So obviously these two are the solutions. So now the whole thing is also a solution of your given differential equation. This is nothing but a linear superposition principle. Okay, in the next session let us discuss the classification of second order linear partial differential equations into hyperbolic, parabolic and elliptic. That topic is actually a very important topic for you. Thank you.